Hi there, it's Rob from Onstage Lighting. Welcome to a very quick tutorial on AutoCAD to Theatre, and this time we're going to look at rotating objects. Now it comes pretty commonly when you're drawing stuff for your theatre drawing that you're going to have to maybe draw some stuff perpendicular to the drawing or right angles to the drawing, but then at some point you need to rotate them. Now because of the tools that you have, like the orthogonal lock and stuff like that, you often find yourself drawing things straight up and down, and I would suggest you try and leave things in that plane for as long as possible, because it's actually easier, without messing around with the views too much, to actually draw things in the right angles which the drawing is. But obviously at some point you then have to rotate them into position. The difficulty with rotating them in too early is that you then lose all of the benefits of the locking and the snaps that give you those kind of 90-degree angles. But when you've done something and you want to rotate it into position, that's cool. So I've got here a frame here which is basically a group, and what I'm going to do is I just want to rotate it so that it's a bit of an angle. Now obviously you might have the rotation angle set from another set of measurements or from a drawing, or you might just have the rotation angle that you just want to move it until you like the look of it. Either way is fine. The key thing is we need to start a rotation, so we're going to hit ROT and enter, and then if you remember, like when we use move, it wants you to specify a base point. Now you could specify a midpoint or you can specify a corner. In this case I'm going to specify a corner just to show you how it works. Click the corner and you can see what happens is this kind of weird elastic thing where you can drag your mouse out, and you can also add the rotation as well. Now I can rotate it. The reason that we've got this extending line on here is because you can rotate it so that it lines up with other points on the drawing. Now you can type the angle of rotation into the box, or you can do it by hand. In this case I'm just going to do it by hand because I'm going to do it to a point where I like the rotation. So that's there, I've got it there, click, and you see it's done. It's quite simple. You can also rotate things by selecting groups of objects together, hit a rotate, and then you can choose a base point. Now don't forget the base point doesn't have to be the object itself, so you could create the base point over here. And now what you can see is the object I'm now rotating rotates around that point there, which is quite useful if you want to rotate stuff around a center line or a particular point on the drawing. So you can see I've got a number of objects which I selected. They were all selected together, and they're moving as one object, and they're also being rotated around that point which is not even the actual object itself. Pop it down and the rotations happen. Hopefully that's been useful for you. I'll see you soon.